What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing a tier list of the best players in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, lads. So we got a lot of players here and a lot of good players. So we are going from S tier all the way into F tier and then worthless tier. So there is a lot of them. I'm going to rename S tier to best 10. There's going to be 10 players in S tier. These are going to be the 10 best players in my opinion. First up, unfortunately, guys, not quite in the best 10 is Nick Batum. I am a huge fan. Like, you're not going to find many people that play this game that are going to be bigger fans of Nick Batum than me. I am a massive fan of this Batum card. I think he does everything well. Obviously, his pink diamond is better than his diamond. He handles the ball. He is one of my main men. I just don't quite think he breaks the best 10. But he's close. He is, like, he's genuinely close. Then we've got Roko. And, like, Roko's so good. I'm putting Roko in C tier because he isn't in my team anymore. And there are a lot of not exceptional players that are in my team. So, I don't mean not exceptional, like not particularly expensive players, like not seen as god tier players that are on my team. So I'm going to put him C tier. However, if you want to put him into a higher tier, I would understand. I don't think you're going to really put him lower than C because he is spectacular. I'm not, like, there's no point in lying to you guys and saying that he's not spectacular because he is. This guy here is easily one of the better amethysts in the game. But Evo, non-Evo, he's still insane. So, English. As far as cards in this list go, I mean, maybe F tier, maybe worthless tier. I'm going to put him in F tier for now. He might get moved down to worthless, but for now, the guy is in F tier because he absolutely sucks. He absolutely sucks, lads. So, funnily enough, like, you could probably argue that he wasn't as bad as people expect him to be, because people expected him to be, like, literally unusable, and he's not quite that. But no, he's not. He's most definitely not a good player. Houston C. I mean, Houston hit shots, and there's nothing else. And I'm not even joking with that. Like, Houston does one thing on the floor and it's hit shots. So, yeah. I'm going to put Allen Houston into C tier. Iverson. At this stage in the game, Iverson's D. Iverson was really good when he came out, though. This has probably been the best Iverson has ever been in a 2K game in a long time. Like, Allen Iverson can play. Especially early on in the year, Allen Iverson was easily one of the top 10 or so cards in the game. There was a reason why pretty much everyone who wanted, or was everyone who really wanted like a point guard to score had Iverson in their team when he came out. Amare E might get moved down. I'm not a fan at all of Amare Stoudemire. I think he's not terrible. I don't think he's good. I think good is a wrong way to describe Amare because he is just so damn average. He is just so freaking average that I think it's hard, again, to argue this guy is anything more than E. A.K. S. Best 10. I still think he's probably the best all-mall defender in the game. I think he is, overall, is a fantastic player. I think there's really not any flaws with him. I think as far as just cards go in this game, if you are trying to compare somebody to an Andre Kirilenko, I don't think there's any, like, I like base 29. I think his defense is that elite. I think his defense really is that elite that he's kind of a must-buy for almost everybody. And yeah, I'm just a massive fan. I really, really am a massive, massive fan of him. Andre Miller, F. I mean, he's not awful. And he's by no means worthless. He can't dunk or shoot, though. Which, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, that's a problem. Not being able to dunk or shoot is not good. It is not good at all, lads. So, for me, he's gotta be down one of these lower tiers. Then we have got Wiggins. So Wiggins, at this stage of the game, Wiggins is F tier. Like, has Wiggins had his time where he's been decent? Yes. Is Wiggins good now? No. Not one bit. Wiggins is not good at all right now. There are players you can get in this game for significantly cheaper that are significantly better than Andrew Wiggins. So, yeah, he's gonna be down here in F tier. Jameson, D. He's all around solid though, isn't he? Like, again, there are good things, there are bad things about him. But I think this is probably the best spot to put him. Is like, yeah, I think D is fair. I think D is completely fair for him. AD. I don't like AD. I'm going to put him A. I don't like him at all. Like, some people are big fans of this card and swear by him still to this day. Yeah, I'm not one of those people. I'm really not one of those people that swears that AD is still one of the best centers in the game, because for me, he's been bang average from the day he came out. I don't even like him. I'm not even sure if I like him more than Josh Smith, but a lot of people do like him a lot. I think this is one of the more underrated cards in the game, is Anthony Edwards. I think it's just shooting. Everything about this card, his movement, are a lot better than people kind of give him credit for. I think people kind of expected him to really not be great. I don't think people expected him to be as good as he is. So he's gonna go in here. And he also isn't really hyped. Arvida Sabonis. I mean, he is a cheeseball. He is a cheeseball, lads. Like, there are not that many cheesier players in this game than Arvida Sabonis. There really are not. He's just everything everything about the card really is just cheese. He's tall. He can kind of shoot. It's just got a bit of everything. He's got a bit of everything except for speed. If he was fast, I'm telling you, lads, if he was fast, we would be looking at an absolute demigod. Problem is, not particularly fast. Next, we are on to Bam Adebayo, B. Can't really shoot the ball that well. I don't like his release. I know some people do. Again, some people do swear by this release. Yeah, I'm not one of those people. So he's going to go into A. Ben Wallace, one of the best defenders in the game, does not play offense. So I'm between C and D right here. I'll go C. Not a big fan. Bernard King, B. Bernard King's good. He's very solid. But again, as far as it goes with Bernard King, it's hard to get the guy. So you might be arguing, oh, maybe I'm biased against Bernard King solely because he's hard to get. And by the time most people get him, he'll be worthless. And you are 100% on the money with that one. He's probably between A and B, but I'll put him that there. I'm going to go C, D. I'll go D with Bingo Smith. I like Bingo Smith. I really do like Bingo Smith. I just personally think he's like not that great in this game. Again, a lot of people are big fans of Bingo Smith, and I thought he was really good when he came out. I really did, but as time's gone on, like my love for that card has really gone. Like, he was initially like my favorite player. Like, he was my favorite. He's still the best Dime Token Award, but he's still gonna go D tier. Blake, I mean, at this stage in the game, Blake get that. No, you're better than Amari. You're better than Amari. Like, I don't like Blake that much, but like, I'm going to be out here putting Amari Stoudemire in E tier. He's going to go E tier. Bobby Jones, bang smack in the middle. One of those middle tiers because he is... You know what? Actually, no. If I'm putting Ben Wallace in C tier, Bobby Jones is going C tier. Like, Bobby Jones is literally just like a small forward Ben Wallace. And I get it. It's a lot easier on like a non-shooting center, but just run a power... Run Bobby Jones a power forward and you're fine. So, yeah, that is my... That's what we have so far, anyway. Bob Cousy, this stage in the game, he's E tier. He's too small. Doesn't have that long wingspan, though. He really does have that long wingspan, which was a which is a pretty decent thing to have. So now let's go and put Bob Pettit in. Look, C. I'm not putting him higher in C. He's one of my favorite players in this game. I'm not putting him higher in C. You could definitely argue him lower. Like, you could argue him lower, while you could also... Well, I would argue him higher, but I think I might be. I think I might be the only person in the world that would argue Bob Pettit being higher than C tier. Brad, E. Ingram, F. Ingram sucks so badly on defense. Ingram is terrible. I don't know what the hell they did. Like, you would think, you know what, Ingram's still going to be pretty decent. Ingram still should be decent. Nah. Really not. He's really not decent at all. Like, oh, he's just... I can't even describe how bad he is. I've tried to use him. He's like, he should be like ML Carr on offense. But he doesn't even, like, even ML Carr feels better on offense. I don't know, I just don't like him. Bruce, I've accidentally got 2 Bruce Bowens on this list, so let's bring one of these Bruce Bowens all the way down to the end. Bruce Bowen is going into... I mean, he plays defense and he has jumpers, C tier. Carmelo Anthony. Do I? This is where it becomes close. Like, do I put him best 10? Because he is so good. He is genuinely so good. So I'd be very tempted to put him... Put in best 10, but I think it's hard to do that. It is hard. It is super hard to do that. He's gonna go A. Caron Butler, E, D, D. Like, I don't know. He's one of those two anyway. He's most definitely one of those two. So, then we're going to go with Chris Bosh. Bosh, at this stage in the game, probably D tier. Mullen, C tier. CP3, E tier. Chris Webber, A tier. Webber's still one of the more underrated big men in this game. He really is one of the more underrated bigs in this game. I really like this Chris Webber. So, yeah, now let's go to Clyde the Glide Drexler, A. Clyde is solid. Clyde is very solid. So, let's go and put him in here. Danilo Gallinari, F tier. He's not awful. Granger, at this stage in the game, Granger's got to go C tier. The last one of these lists I made, I'm pretty sure he was like A or B tier. But, like, Granger's got to go C. Darius Miles, C. He still does everything. Like, he still does everything. Like, he doesn't have a flaw. So he's going to go C tier. He's way better than, like, Antoine Jameson. Griffith, E. I don't like Griffith very much. Bing. I mean, Dave Bing's going E tier. Like, he's not absolutely terrible, which people thought he was going to be. But, I mean, he's not very good either. So, we got to put him here. David Robinson, best 10. Like, there's no debate. David Robinson's best 10. Like, I'm not as high on D-Rob as most people are. Most people are a lot higher than him than I am, but he's going there. Davion Mitchell. I'm very tempted to put him, like, his release is so good. He actually has some good things about him. Like, Davion Mitchell, there are a lot of things that Davion Mitchell's really good at. Like, his defense is spectacular, but he's just small. So it all depends on... Davion Mitchell's going to go E tier. Which is, for a Sapphire, is kind of crazy. Like, that is actually kind of crazy, me putting a Sapphire card in that tier. Considering the cards that we have in this game, if I'm putting a Sapphire in that tier, it's better be a pretty damn good Sapphire. So, yeah, next up we have got Darren. And I'm not... You would probably think I'm way higher in Darren than I am. I think Darren's alright. I think I'm going to put Darren in like D. Darren is basically like Ja, except worse. Like he's left-handed Ja, if you guys don't know. In terms of like his animations, he's literally just left-handed Ja. 2K have made them the same. Because basically they were kind of seen as similar players when they came into the NBA, or when Ja came into the NBA. So 2K the last couple of years have just made Ja Morant and Darren the same player. Ayton, I'm gonna go B tier with Ayton, maybe C tier. It all like literally the thing with Ayton, whether he's B or C, can you get used to his release? If so, B. If not, C. DJ D. He's just worse. He's just like a Will Chamberlain stats wise, but he doesn't have the player build. And the only reason Will Chamberlain doesn't suck is because of his player build. Like Will Chamberlain's stats and badges wise is not good at all in this game. DeJounte. DeJounte's going B. DeJounte's going B. There are guys that have pushed DeJounte out of A tier. But I thought DeJounte was one of the best point guys in the game. I'm pretty sure I put DeJounte in S tier on my point guy tier list. And I stood by that. We've just, like, Friday changed everything when it came to point guards. DeRozan, worthless tier. Oh my god, DeRozan sucks. You guys can't even see that on screen now. But, like, that DeMar DeRozan card, he was decent for limited. Because you couldn't shoot, but that was about it. Rodman, I don't know how I feel about Rodman. Because some people really can get used to him. But that release, even though he can hit the shots, it's really slow. So I'm going to put Dennis Rodman in here into D tier. You can probably argue C tier. I think some people would argue B. But then there are also people that would argue Dennis Rodman should be in F tier. So if they're just really bad Rodman. So I'm going to put Rodman here mainly because anytime I play against someone using Rodman sucks for them. I think Darren Williams, at this stage in the game, C. He's not bad. Like, is Darren Williams better than... like, he's debatably better than DeJounte. I'm going to go C tier, though. Derrick Rose. At this stage in the game, I'm putting Derrick Rose C tier. He's got, like, 70 defensive stats. Most of his defensive stats are in the 70s. Like, there are people that will be saying, oh, he's still got the best left right in the game. And that is true. That is true. But, like, can't play defense. Dez Mason, worthless. I don't know why I put Dez. I think I must have accidentally put Dez Mason on this list. He was great for me in Limited, though. Because he's got the J.R. Smith release on Quick and could kind of dunk. He actually was hitting everything for me in Limited. Because, again, I was using, like, Steph Curry and guys with Floor General and Dimer and stuff. And he was hitting a lot for me, so... He was a pleasant surprise, but does not mean he's good. Just because he's one of the better three-point guys that have 75 rated three-pointer at shooting does not mean too much. Booker's D. Booker plays no defense. Dikembe, A. Dikembe most definitely A tier. Really, really good player. He's still paint mashing, an insane paint mashing player. Then Dirk, worthless. Dirk sucks. Dolph, best 10. Best 10. Dolph's still that dude. Dolph is still really that dude. Best 10. We're going to go Dominique right now. E. Dominique sucks. Not very good. I'm going to C tier for Donovan Mitchell. He can still play offense. He still plays really, really well on offense. So, I'll put him in. I'll put him in this tier. Okay, then we've got Duncan. Duncan Robinson. Oh, F tier. F tier. He's not quite worthless because he can cook on offense. He's not at this stage of the game. No, it's not his time. Not his time. Dwight Howard. C. Like, is he that much better than Ben Wallace? I don't know. Maybe B. I'll go B. Because some people complain, but B. Wade sucks. D. Where's Griffith? Wade sucks. I'm sorry, like, has enough time come out since this card has been the hype player in packs that we no longer have to pretend that this card was ever good in 2K? Like, I get it. I get it. Some cards suck, but the week they come out, you have to pretend they're good. Otherwise, people are going to complain. Do we have to stop pretending this card is an ass now? D tier. D tier. And he can count himself lucky he's in D tier. Elgin. I'm able to see a little bit undersized, but I know some people that can use Elgin well. He's not bad. Eric Snow. C. He's not. Eric Snow is not as good as he's not as good as DeJounte. Like, when I had DeJounte and I had Eric Snow, I most definitely preferred DeJounte. However, Eric Snow is still god for a Ruby. Not the best Ruby point guard, though. Freddy Van Vliet. Freddy Van Vliet's still going C tier. Like, I put him on a equal footing with Derrick Rose. Oh, no, actually. What am I talking about? Freddy Van Vliet, go D tier. Go D tier. I don't find him that much worse than Derrick Rose. I will say that, though. But it's like, if I'm out here putting Iverson in D tier, nah, Fred Van Vliet is not as good as Allen Iverson. Even though Fred's defense is better than Iverson's. But, like, again, Iverson is probably that better. He's probably a little bit better of a player than good old Fred Van Vliet. As much as I do think Fred was a great player for his time. His time is not now. His time is unfortunately not now. So Peyton, best 10. Peyton is no question about it in the best 10 players. As far as point guards, actually, there very much is a debate. There very much now is a debate. I don't know why I said no question. Friday's point guards really were god tier. Like, he's there for now, but he might move. He might be gone. Gervin, D. D for disappointment. He was so disappointing. Mike in top 10. Second best center in the game. After, I think he's best. When I said second best, I meant top 2. I think he's the best. D-Rob is D-Rob, though. I think Mike does some things better. D-Rob does other things better. It all depends on what you want for a center. It really does. Like, some people, the fact that Mike can dribble the ball and get quick first step and stuff and actually acts as a point center, for some people that doesn't matter, and for other people that is one of the most important things for a center because of the way they play the game. If you play like I play, which involves all 5 players dribbling the ball, Mikan is the best center. Because Mikan dribbles the ball so much better than D-Rob. Again, if you don't use your center to dribble, it doesn't make any difference. But like, that's just, it's a weird way that I've been playing since 2K20 where realistically all my players need to dribble the ball if I'm gonna have success with them. So yeah, then we've got Gerald Wallace. Oh, this Gerald Wallace kind of sucks. This Gerald Wallace is alright though. This Gerald Wallace I'm gonna go B tier. He's one of the better on-ball defenders in the game. Again, he's not that much worse than Bernard King. And he's also quite a bit easier to get. His release is brilliant. Like base 4, I don't care what anyone says. We all like we are greening with Larry. People are greening with Larry Keane with base 4 in the corner with a 59 rated 3 ball. Base 4, George Mikan, Donovan Mitchell, these guys. It is one of the best releases in the game in my opinion this year. Maybe I'm gassing it, but it's a very good release. It's a very good release. A base 4 in other years has been a little bit. To be honest, it's always been good. Dikembe had base 4 last year on his Dark Matter, and everyone loved that release. So, yeah, he's going to go in high tier. Gilbert Arenas, you stink. D tier. And Gilbert, count yourself, you know what? E tier. Gilbert, like, I would take Bob Cousy over Gilbert Arenas. I hate that card with a passion. Like, I just hate base 11, and I'm worried what it's going to do to Hedo Turkoglu. I'm worried the 2K are going to ruin Hedo Turkoglu again by giving him base 11 for a second year in a row. Just like they ruined Lamar Odom, just like they ruined Gilbert Arenas. Glenn C. Glenn doesn't do anything wrong. Glenn literally doesn't do anything wrong. There is a better player than Glenn that I think is so similar to Glenn, but I think is better. That is like 2000 MT, so I'm going to have to put him in C tier. But like, there are still people in wagers for money using Glenn. So if people have played a game for money, it's because he hits shots. He hits shots and he plays a bit of defense. He plays a bit of offense, and he's a cone. He is well and truly a cone, lads. And you know what? He's a pretty damn good one. So then we got Grant. Grant's going to go A. Grant's just off that. He's not top tier. I think at this stage, it's just a case of, you know what? I think people kind of have realized that Durant is not top tier, or sorry, Durant's not top tier. Grant Hill is not in like the top few, but I mean, he's pretty damn good. Like, if we compare Grant Hill to a lot of other guys, he is pretty good. Gus, I'm going to put Gus in C. Yeah, if I've got Glenn there, I'm going to put Gus there. They're very similar cards. They're very similar. They do very similar things. Like, again, you will still see some good players running Gus Gerard because they just like that base 17. They like base 17, and he does a job. Gus, better badges-wise, worse stats-wise than Glenn. However, I think Gus was easier to get. I think almost everyone that wanted Gus got Gus. However, for Glenn, guys like myself went through 6 or 7 boards and didn't see Glenn Robinson. So yeah, that was a disappointment. But Gus is still very, very good. Hal Greer, Hal Greer is probably like C or D tier. Hal Greer is all right. Isaiah Thomas. Now, this is a controversial one. I'm putting Isaiah Thomas in B tier. I think most people are going to put him in A. I was just never... He moves so well. I was always high on him. I was never like... as high as most people were on him. Like, I always thought he was good. But I mean, there were people... Like, most people were saying he was without question best point guard in the game. Whereas, I thought he was the best, but it wasn't without question. I'm going to say B for Isaiah Thomas. But he's the best. No, I'll put him A. Jalen Suggs, he's E tier. He is. Maybe even D tier. Honestly, you could argue D tier there. But I'm going to put him E tier. Jamal Mashburn, he's fine. He does everything at a solid rate. C, B, one of those tiers. Harden, B. Harden is still one of my favorite players in this game, by the way. I just don't think he belongs in A tier, because A tier is going to be the Jaylen Browns and Kobe Bryants of the world, and I do think he's a downgrade from those guys. But James Harden's really good. Okay, then we have got Ayton Kidd. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. If you are a Splash Edition, you can be effective with Ayton Kidd. This guy is actually more usable competitively than a lot of guys. But if I play... So many bots use this guy in Unlimited, and he is the worst player I've ever played against. If you're not good at the game, and you are not using Jason Kidd, I get it. Some of you guys are going to watch this video and your competitive players being like, Jason Kidd, people use him in competitive. And that is fine. The whole game doesn't revolve around competitive. Unless you are a competitive player. This guy is useless. This is a card that is good competitively. But if you are trying to use him in a non-competitive setting, the guy absolutely stinks. The guy absolutely stinks. So D for him. Jet Terry, Jet's going B. Jet is going B. He can really move. He really can move, lads. And he can shoot. That's it. Brown, B. Jaylen Brown, or Brown, A. One half of B. Jaylen Brown's one of the best 2 guys in the game. His jumper is nice. His movement's good. His defense is good. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's going to go A tier. Then we got Jason Tatum. Tatum, C. His release is unusable. I'm sorry, you can't put a higher player in him. See, he's useless. Jerry Lucas. He's absolutely useless. He's shockingly bad. Jimmy Butler, quite similar to his diamond. I'm going to put him D. No, I'm going to put him C. I'm going to put the diamond B. I'm going to put the diamond B. They're very similar cards, by the way. They are really, really similar. One's just a little bit better. I'm going to put, because he's a 70 speed, I'm going to put him in B tier. Joel Embiid. But you could definitely argue A tier for him. Hondo, D. Hondo's alright. John Wall, A. I don't think John Wall's the best 10-point guard. I don't think John Wall is as good as Peyton. I don't think it's particularly close. I get it. Some people will find Wall better. If you don't really use the quickest / shifty burst, Wall is fine. Like, Wall is a pretty much perfect point guard, except for the fact that he can't quick and shifty burst. But the quick and shifty burst is so important. It is so important. Like, Wall's got like 99 speed with half quick first step. But when he's dribbling the ball, he's going to feel like, even with half quick first step and 99 speed, he's not going to feel that fast because he's going to slow down anytime you pull off a dribble move. And like when somebody slows down on a dribble move, like their speed is 99. It may as well be 80. Like he may as well have 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 80 speed of ball. You may as well subtract 20 from your speed of ball stat if you don't have quick dribbles, quick or shifty. Like obviously quick is the best, but like shifty still gets the bursts. You can do more things out of quick. Like there are a lot of movements you can only really do off quick dribble style, but the difference is that like shifty still gets the burst. But John Wall's going out here. Clarkson. I mean, Jordan Clarkson moves so well. I'm going to put Jordan Clarkson as like low C tier. Like I've used him a few times and he has been so good. Like I know people probably aren't that high on Clarkson, but his offense is insane and he's actually got a really good player build. So his defense doesn't feel quite as bad. It's still obviously not good, but it doesn't feel as bad as it looks stats wise with Jordan Clarkson. We have way more cards on this list than I thought we were gonna have. Like we really have a lot. Like we're still only like halfway through. Jordan Poole, like B. Jordan Poole's good. Like really good. His player build is big. His movement is insane. Like there's not anything wrong with the card. Except for the fact that he's an amethyst and a moment, so he's not hyped up. Like that is the only thing I can say about this card, is that like he's not hyped because he's a moments. Like there's nothing Jordan Poole does wrong on the floor. And like there are cards in this game that do everything right. He's one of them. Josh Smith, A. Still to this day, Josh Smith is an A tier player. Like most people at this stage are able to shoot with a 74 rated 3 ball because we've all been using it long enough, and his defense is still top tier. Drew Holiday, C tier, good cone. Not nearly as good as DeJounte and not as good as like Marcus Smart and stuff. Him, F. He gets absolutely destroyed anytime he steps on the floor nowadays. Kareem, C, big body. That's literally it. Is Kareem that much better than Ha Sung Jin? I don't even know. Kawhi, B. Kawhi is still elite defender, elite animations, and he still shoots the ball at an elite rate. Kelly Oubre Jr. is going C tier as well. You guys don't know about Kelly Oubre. He's a 6'7" wide-bodied 2 guard. There are not many of those guys. His release is a little bit slow. Kevin Durant, best 10. I just think Kevin Durant, just the way he moves is different. He moves differently to a lot of players his size. And the thing is, the difference between Kevin Durant and Melo, like Melo, I personally think Melo is just a better spot-up shooter. I actually think Melo's release this year is so good. Melo's release base 55. Both of those releases are insane. So like, in terms of shooting, I think it's a dead heat between those two guys. But otherwise, Kevin Durant's movement is just better. Kevin Garnett. Now, I'm putting Kevin Garnett in A tier. Like, Kevin Garnett does not start for my team. But he's been good. Defensively, he's probably the best defensive power forward in the game. Offensively, he leaves a bit to be desired. I don't care what his speed stat says. I think he's got 87 speed, like high 70 speed with ball. And he gets some decent badges. He's slow. Like, and not only slow with the ball, he's kind of slow without the ball. But the difference is that the guy is so good. Like, you press with the half interceptor, I know his steal stat's low. You press that square button and he's near the ball, he will steal it. Like, he hawks lanes like nobody else in this game. And he's also pretty decent center. He can kind of shoot the ball. Like, some people would have him in their best 10. For me, like, I have Kevin Garnett. I'm a fan. I'm not that big a fan. Like, I probably won't regret going for him. But I also wouldn't have regretted if I'd said, screw up, this season I'm not going for the reward. Okay, then we have got Kevin Huerter. Huerter's going D. I mean, Huerter is, in my opinion, the fastest way of winning TT offline. Like, the cheapest way of winning and the way to make the most MT is 3 golds. However, a faster way is to just run Huerter with 2 golds. Because of how fast his release is, the CPU can't really contest it. And when CPU can't contest a release, it's basically open threes. And with his like range extender and stuff, you can shoot from even deeper than the GOAT Corey Kispert. So yeah, he's gonna go there. Kevin Mchale. Now this is a tough one. Where did I leave Mchale? Oh no. Okay, where did I put Mchale? I put him in B tier by mistake. Kevin Mchale is between A and S, and I'm not sure which again. Because Mchale's release is okay. His stats are spectacular though. I know he's very, very difficult to get, but just all around as a card, he is brilliant. This Kevin Mchale though, worthless. He sucks. He absolutely sucks. Chris Middleton, he's a cone, C tier. Klay Thompson, best 10. No question about it, Klay belongs in the best 10 players in my team. Klay is that good. He is that good, lads. Klay is the best point guard. He's the best primary ball handler in my team. With his height, with his ability to dribble the ball, there's a reason why. Like, if we're asking for who the best point guy is in my team, the reason why, like, one of my main reasons why I kind of see where people are coming from with the John Wall argument is that John Wall is so good on defense that if you're running through Klay Thompson, you don't need quick or shifty. So you can just run him like that. But Klay is the first name in the best 10. The most no-brainer player in the best 10. Like, I'm thinking of other two guards. I'm like, does Kobe make my best 10? Is Jaylen Brown getting a spot here? Because I don't even know who else there is. And Kobe, as of right now, I'm putting Kobe best 10. I'm putting Kobe best 10. It might seem crazy, but are there any other good two guards in this game, really? And that might move Harden. That might get Harden moved up one tier. And we might be seeing James Harden now in A tier. But Kobe Bryant, he's got the Kobe escape. His dribbling, like Kobe dribble style is okay. And yeah, let's put in best 10. Kristaps, I don't like Kristaps. I'll put him B because he's 7 for 3 and can shoot. That's about it. He's not very good. Korver, supremely overrated. C tier. Lowry, 6 foot tall point guard. D tier, can't dunk. Not awful though. Lowry's not awful. Like, there are a lot of not awful cards here, but again, we are 37 minutes into this video and we still have quite a few cards left to talk about. Kyrie, F. He can score. Some people can score with him. He's not worthless, but my God, does he suck. He absolutely sucks. Aldridge is going, he's a slightly better Amari Stoudemire. D tier. Again, they basically got the same release. I think Aldridge is slightly better. I don't think Aldridge is even enough better to be more than one tier, but Aldridge is D. Amari's D, Aldridge is D. Odom, stats-wise, badges-wise, he's good. He's got base 11, which ruins him. E tier. Landry Fields is going D, B, C? C? D. D. We're going to D tier with Landry Fields. Like, Landry Fields has got base 4, which is a release that I really like. Like, he has a lot of good things going for him, in my opinion. It's just, I don't know. I think I might move the Jimmys down, each down a tier. I think I might move Jimmy's down a tier. Because again, like the whole thing with Landry Fields, he's like Landry Fields versus Amethyst Jimmy. I prefer Landry Fields. So I'm like, I can't really justify to myself putting Amethyst Jimmy a full tier ahead of Ruby Landry Fields. They came out on the same day. I said it on the day. I still believe it. I prefer Fields. I just think his overall stats are a little bit better. It's not much, but they're a little bit better. His 3-ball, I think, is plus quite a bit, and he gets better shooting badges. So, yeah, I'm gonna... I don't know. I'm gonna adjust the Jimmys. I'm gonna move one Jimmy down a tier, and I'm gonna move the Diamond Jimmy down a tier because I don't think Diamond Jimmy's that great. He's just a Diamond Glow. So, Diamond Jimmy Butler go to C tier. Larry Bird, B. He doesn't dunk the ball well enough at this stage. He plays really good defense. He's actually kind of fast, laterally anyway. And he shoots the ball well. Like, he was great for his time. He really was. But, yeah, I think at this stage in the game, I think B tier is probably best for Larry. He's one of the better cards in B tier. But I'm going to put him in B tier anyway. So, yeah. Next, we are on to LeBron James, B as well. Like, you could probably argue LeBron in A, just like you'd argue Larry in I know there are people that were using LeBron, are still using LeBron in their teams to this day. I get it. LeBron's the really good player build. His release is, I mean, it's okay. It's pretty decent on next gen. It's okay on current, but he can't. I'm pretty sure he still steps in from the corners on current gen, but it is a lot easier to green. I just think stats wise and stuff, this LeBron, I never rated him that highly, even when he came out. Again, he's got like 90-ish speed. I think he's a very, very flawed card. And for me, he's like, in a world where Nick Batum exists, is there any real reason to ever use LeBron James? Like, is he even better than Roko? Like, that is an actual question. Is he even better than Robert Covington in game because of the way the animations Roko gets? I'm not sure. So then we've got Lou Dort. Lou Dort's like C because he has some half defense badges, but I mean, he's not great. He's only got like 70 something ball handle. Marc Gasol, A tier. Better than AD, yes. Is he as good as D-Rob? For 99% of people, no. Next gen, there is a debate. Because set shot 18 is way better on next gen than it is on current gen, and steal stat matters a lot more on next gen than current gen. So Marc Gasol versus AD is or not AD versus D-Rob. It can be debated on next, but on current, it's not. Like, there's not even a close one. And also, for most people, you're getting pretty extra speed to D-Rob over the extra steal for Marc Gasol. So, yeah, he's going to go into A tier. Marcus Smart. Where did I drop Marcus Smart? Because it doesn't matter where I drop Marcus Smart, because Marcus Smart is going into A tier. He's so good. And it's like, the fact is, I've been saying this since the card came out. Since the stats were announced, I was testing around the way Marcus Smart moved just in shoot around and stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, Marcus Smart's going to be ridiculously good in this game. It's like, I was greening with his like 73-point normal card in shoot around. As well as with like 70 ball handle card, like dribbling with him. So it wasn't like there was ever a question that he wasn't going to be able to move. He's not the best primary ball handler because he kind of needed to create his own shot. But the problem is that, like, again, his dribbling badges aren't the greatest. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have handles for days. Or quick chain, maybe. But it's not awful. But he's, in my opinion, fantastic. Like, he's not best 10, but I mean, he's in the debate. In my opinion, he's debatable wall. Jordan, C, does not shoot the ball well enough to be higher than C. Plays good defense, though. Mchale Bridges, however, I lost. Did I lose Mchale Bridges? Did I move someone else into a tier by mistake? I'm trying to find Mchale Bridges. I think I put him in C. A. As a 3 and D cone. Mchale Bridges is playing. I've been using him. He is playing equally as well as Nick Batum for me. I've used most of the 3 and D cones in different situations. Mchale Bridges does everything at a very solid rate. Is he going to dribble the ball? No. He's not. He is not going to dribble the ball at all. So if you're looking for someone to dribble for you, or as in, like, is he going to create off the dribble? Because, like, he dribbles the ball well enough that he can run in a circle and, like, come off a screen and dunk. Like, that's the extent of when I say I need someone to dribble. But Mchale Bridges, his jumper, I love base 80. I've loved base 80 since last year. Like, I was the #1 fan of base 80 last year. But it's easy to green. It's not the fastest release in the world, but it is very, very greenable. It's Jamal Murray release. And yeah, we're gonna go and put him in A tier. I think he is that good. I'm pretty sure Ty call him like cheap AK-47. I'm not gonna go that far. I think AK is quite a bit better, but still, he's brilliant. Conley. Now Conley's going D tier, but I actually really like Conley. Like, I really like the way Conley moves this year. I really like Conley's release this year. Because I was a big fan of, was it the Sapphire Conley? There was a Conley at the start of the year that I was a big, big fan of. And I was like, if you get this guy in draft, he's insane. But this Amethyst here is a really solid card. Like, good shooter, good stats, can't dunk. But as far as the little point guards go, like, is he much worse than CP3? I don't think so. So, Yeah, Mike Conley's going there. Mchale or Miles Bridges. He's undersized. That is kind of his only problem. I'm going to go C tier with him because he's a 6'6" power forward. But I mean, you can't play him a small forward. He's got pretty much everything. So C tier could easily be moved to B. Mitch Richmond, I mean, doesn't play defense at all. So I'll go D tier, but you could move up to C. Carr, B, because he is a deceptively good offensive player. He gets some of the best post-spin animations in the game. And again, Ty, if you are reacting to this video, watch the Road to Gary Payton series. I'm currently on a 12-game winning streak, and one of my go-to offenses is post-spinning with ML Carr. His animations are ridiculous for that. He's still god on defense. If you can get used to his release, he's still brilliant. I'm going to go B tier for ML Carr. One of my favorite players in the game. Okay, then we have got Moses. Moses Malone is going to go B. I actually prefer DeAndre Ayton to Moses. Most of you are going to put Moses Malone in A tier because of his stats and stuff. I just am not a fan of the card, really. Miles Turner, though. A. I think Miles Turner is easily one of the better centers in the game. Miles Turner versus AD, genuine debate. Genuine debate at that center position. AD at power forward is pretty good, though. It's better than Miles Turner, but Miles Turner is probably better at center. So then we got Nate Thurman here. Thurman, 63 ball. He's so fast, though. He's so fast. I'm putting him in A tier. Like, compared to even Moses Malone, he feels fast compared to Moses. And that is genuinely how highly I rate this card. He feels fast compared to other fast guys. Okay, so then we got Nikolai Yokuch. So, Yokuch is going to go... Did I put Jokic in D tier? I think he's D or C. I'll go C, but he's not that great. Vucevic is better than Jokic. Like, I'm going to go B tier for Vucevic. He blocks shots. He shoots the ball really well. He's all right. OG Anunoby. I'm going to go C tier for OG. I get it. He's got good animations, but I mean, he's a 3-and-D wing and he can't dribble the ball, so I'll go C tier. He's nowhere, like, he's like a way worse version of Mchale Bridges. Oscar Robertson, a niche player. He does some stuff well, so I'm going to go B tier for him. Paul George. Now, PG is either going A or best 10. I might go best 10 for PG. I think I might go best 10 at that small forward position for Paul George. I mean, I prefer Batum to PG, though. And like, even stats-wise, badges-wise, PG's better. But even stats-wise, Batum's better. It's like, that's a close one. Paul George can move a little bit. He's a fundamental dribble style. He plays very solid perimeter defense. Got a 50 block, though. He plays pretty much no interior defense. That's the difference between him and Batum, in my opinion, is that Batum actually plays very solid interior defense. And Thing plays zilch. Plays absolutely zero interior, Paul George. Paul George, I'm pretty sure he's 6'8" on this card. I don't think they gave him the 6'9" Paul George player build yet in this year anyway. Like, later on in the year, we are going to get a 6'9" Paul George. I don't think we got one this year. I mean, Batum might have a spot there as well. We can see who's left. Batum might have a spot there as well. Again, Batum is so good. So then we have got Paul Millsap. Millsap's going to go C. Millsap is very similar level to Roko. I remember even when I was comparing those guys, I was like, Millsap has no weaknesses. The problem with Millsap is that, like, he's not quite fast enough. Like, his speed is in the 70s. I know it is high 70s. He's got, like, quick first step and stuff and, like, really high lateral. But still, though, speed being in the 70s kind of limits the level you can be at. Paul Pierce, I'll go low C. Because there are a lot of people that really like Paul Pierce. And, like, stats-wise, he's actually kind of comparable to Melo. When he came out, he was really comparable stats-wise to Melo. The problem was that Paul Pierce has got Paul Pierce base, which is awful. And that's why everyone's like, oh, why don't I like Cole Anthony? Like, Cole Anthony does this, that, and the other. He's got quick dribble style. Oh, Cole Anthony's got everything. But the Paul Pierce base might be one of the worst releases this year. And the reason, like, I think it might be worse than 11 because of how inconsistent it is. You can notice it more on Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony will shoot one shot and it will feel like one of the slower releases in the game. And the next shot time you will shoot the ball with Cole Anthony, it will feel like the quickest release in the game. Paul Pierce release is not good enough to put him above C tier. Silas, A tier. You give Silas all the shooting badges. He's got Draymond release, Draymond player build, 7 foot something wingspan, or 7'2" wingspan. I'm pretty sure 6'7". His handle is pretty nice. I'm pretty sure he's got the. If I'm not mistaken, he's got Scotty behind the back. His defense, he doesn't get as good defensive animations as ML Cardo. I will say that much, but he's good enough that I'm going to start sweating TTO again for him, just because I want to get him. And I never got him the first time. Penny Hardaway. Now this is where the debate comes in. Is he A or is he best 10? Because Penny versus GP versus even Wall and Steve Francis, like there's a lot of elite point guards. There are a lot of absolute elite point guards here, and they all came out a couple days ago. Maravich B plays no defense at all, and he's tall. He's tall. He's got a good release. He kind of moves, but I am not that high. I thought Pistol Pete was going to be just the best, but a little bit like last year, Pistol Pete. His card is just, at this stage of the year, it's a little bit early. I think later on in the year, Pistol Pete's going to have one really good card. I think there will be a time where Pistol Pete is one of the better cards in the game, especially at that point guard position, because he is tall, and he's got a brilliant release. So I think it's a matter of when, not if, Pistol Pete gets a God tier card. But yeah, I think until that happens, Pistol Pete's not. He's living off last year, I think. Like, I've played against Pete plenty of times and he's been terrible. I still feel like he's living off the fact that he was the best for a while on Next Gen last year. He's living off that hype, and people are now finally starting to realize, you know what, Pete's good. He's not that good this year. Like, last year, I mean, Next Gen especially, he was the best. He was not one of the best, he was the best. Then we got Purvis. Purvis is going one tier below Vince. He's like slightly worse Vince. So I'm going to go, you know what, then we're going to go same tier. I'm going to put them both in B tier. I know Ty loves Vince Carter, but like, he's the only person I've ever, like, obviously when Vince Carter came out, when Dunktober packs came out, a lot of people use them. I've not seen anyone other than Ty use Vince Carter. And Purvis Short's base use Vince Carter. Rondo F maybe. I don't like Rondo. I think I made that clear. He was good for limited at the weekend. I made it very clear though over the last while that I am not a fan of this Rajon Rondo card. I mean, you can argue him E, but like, his defensive stats are good, but like, he's like Davion Mitchell without the jump shot. That's the best way I can describe him. Like, in game, he is Davion Mitchell without the jump shot. And I get it, you might say, oh, he moves a little better. No. Davion Mitchell feels better movement wise, even though Davion Mitchell does only have base. So he's just a flawed card. And I know I've pissed off a lot of Celtics fans. I know I've probably pissed off Shake with this. I definitely underrated in my point guard tier list. D tier was bad for that, which is why I kind of rectified putting him on this list, but he's going this tier. Rip Hamilton C, bang average. Like, he shoots the ball okay. He dribbles the ball okay. So he shoots the ball well. He dribbles the ball okay. He plays decent defense. Like, why the hell? Like, I get it, Mchale Bridges can't play at the 2, but like, if Mchale Bridges could play at the 2, Mchale Bridges would be better than Rip Hamilton. Jefferson B because of the catapult, but his stats and badges are very good. It's just the catapult is the catapult. So, and I really struggle agreeing with it. He's on the cusp. He is on the cusp of being idol. Richie Guerin, E at this stage. Ricky Rubio. One of the better point guards in the game. I'm gonna go B tier. Yeah. I think he's a solid point guard. He's really solid. Rod Strickland, he's not terrible, but he's like D tier. Like a way better version of Kyrie. Ron Boone. At this stage of the game, Ron Boone is either going B or C tier. I'll put him B, but he could easily drop. No, I'm going to put him into C because I would prefer Erickson now, even though Ron Boone obviously does it quick. Russell Westbrook. B or C because I prefer DeRozan. He's B or C. I'll go C tier for Westbrook, I guess. Sadiq Bey, B tier. Sadiq Bey is one of the better cards in this game. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's like Glenn Robinson, except he's got a better release, in my opinion. Scotty, C, because he's so good on defense. And like, Scotty can hit. His release isn't as good as ML cards, but Scotty can hit jumpers. And he is like well and truly an elite lock. He is one of the better locks in the game. I might move him down a tier. But I think I might be higher on Scotty than most people. I know, I'm going to move Scotty down one. Serge Ibaka. I mean, still to this day, Serge Ibaka. Like, I have had trouble against guys that run Serge. Like, he's got 50-something speed, sure. Current gen, like, is he going to struggle sometimes in defense now? Sure. Is he, like, C tier? Probably. Like, his one flaw is his speed. But, his lateral's pretty good, which makes up for it. So, yeah, it's a tough one to rate Serge. Because I think Serge is a case of, like, a lot of players that stay in teams for comfortability more than anything, but he's talking about tier. Ha-Sung Jin, I mean, if you've ever been paint matched by Ha-Sung Jin, you know that he's tough. Like, is he higher in, like, C tier? No, obviously, clearly not higher in C. Like, look at the guys you have on this list. He's most definitely not even close to being better than C. But still, I think paint matching Ha-Sung Jin belongs in C tier. The way the game is. And because I'm putting Shaq in B tier. Just because, again, Shaq can't paint match. Shaq is like 17 stamina, though. An unpopular opinion, I think Ha-Sung... No, screw it. Shaq, you're going in C tier. Your 17 stamina is putting you down to C tier. I prefer Ha-Sung Jin to Shaq. I'm just going to say right there. Right now, I would prefer to run Ha-Sung. I get it. Shaq has got 79 speed. I get it. Shaq also gets tired after 17 seconds on the floor. Ha-Sung Jin's player build is better. Both of them are going to be slow. Both of them are slow laterally. Both of them are terrible guarding the perimeter. And Shaq just gets tired in 30 seconds. Sean Kemp, point center. Really good point center, plays no defense. He's like, imagine if George Mikan had a terrible release and he had a terrible release and had way worse defense. That is what you are getting with Sean Kemp. Like, because Mikan and Kemp are very similar stats-wise. Except defensively, obviously, Kemp is way better. Sean Marion. I'm going A tier with Sean Marion. A lot of guys really like Marion. And I like his release. Like, is it this brilliant release? No. Is it a bad release? No. Like, a lot of people... I even said it last year. Like, I've always thought the base was good. The upper was just iffy. And then you can just get used... I think you can get used to the upper. Like, you can get you. I feel like you can always get used to a card's upper, even though it is a lot. Like, it's a lot harder to get used to a card's base, but I think you can always get used to a card's upper. So, yeah, let's go and go to our next player, which is Sleepy Floyd. I'm sorry, Sleepy, you're like E tier, like E tier. Steph Curry's are the same cards. Steph Curry's, I'm gonna put in high B, low A. I'm gonna go B. If you want to argue A, that's... Oh, no, I'll put him A, because some people still can cook with Curry. Steve Francis. Now, this is my best point guard in the game. Yeah. This is my best thing finished. I don't need a 2 guard. I need a 2 guard. Do I have an extra point guard in here? Oh, no. Is this my best 10 completely finished? So, at the point guards, we got Steve and we got Gary. Now, maybe Peyton should be in instead of Gary. We got Steve definitely in there, in my opinion. And then that could be it. Yeah, none of these guys would even be in that conversation. So Trey Young, I'm going to go C tier for this Trey Young. E tier for this Trey Young. Like the other Trey Young can at least play defense, the glitch one. The glitch one's going to be higher. But like Trey Young can be effective. I've played against good players that ran everything through Trey Young. And I've had more success with Trey Young than they have with Steph Curry. So it's a bit of a weird one. Like, I personally hate the card. But it's like there are people that like him. I don't know who these people are. I don't know how they managed to find a way to be good with him. But I mean, not only have they been good with him, do they say they're good with him, they've been good with him against me. Steve Nash, E. I'm just going to put even some of these lower tier guys in now, because there are some fairly weak cards to go. Like Tyler Hero, I'm not quite sure he should even be on this list, to be honest. Not awful though. Like Hero's going to go. I mean, if I put Herder, whatever tier I put Herder in, Hero's a tier behind. Hero's a smaller Herder. Zion, E. Zion sucks. Big Z, D tier just because he's a giant and can shoot. Like, I'm sorry, I get it. Like, he is slow. He is going to really struggle, but giants are always effective. Like, this year is the year of the giant. Like, giants haven't been as effective haven't been this effective since, like, 2K20 week 1. Or, actually, I was about to say, last year really was the year of the giant on next gen, when tall players just glide around the floor. Last year was the year of the giant, but, like, giants are pretty damn good this year as well in the era of paint mashing. So, yeah, let's move on to the next player. And the next player is Toby Harris. Tobias Harris is going to go B tier. Maybe, no, he's going to go C tier. Tobias Harris is he's just not a red solid player. Honestly, these B and C tiers kind of merge together. Tyrese Maxey is going to go, he's like slightly worse Isaiah Thomas. So I'm going to put Tyrese Maxey in B tier. I know a lot of people be like, oh, how have you put him or actually, to be fair though, I've got Jordan Poole in there. There's no question. There's no doubt in my mind Tyrese Maxey belongs in this tier. A player that I had until, when did I sell him? I sold him when 2K accidentally put the Moment Super Packs on the market, and I thought 2K were going to bring out Super Packs for him. But like, Maxey is surprisingly brilliant. Like, not only like is he just like decent, he is surprisingly a brilliant player. Like, everything about Tyrese Maxey is good in game. His movement is good. You guys saw how much success I had with him in the Road to Gary Payton series. It's just we had to sell him because we were able to make quite a decent amount of MT on him. Well, I say we didn't make any MT on him. We were able to sell him before he kind of dropped. Like, he's going to drop eventually a price, and we were able to sell him before that happened. So now we have got Vince Carter, B tier for Vince Carter, really solid. And we got Walt, wherever Jason Kidd is. I'll put Walt. Is Jason Kidd in C or D tier? He's D. So Walt is genuinely wherever Jason Kidd is. So, yeah. Next we got Wilt. I'm gonna put Wilt in B tier. Paint matching Wilt is pretty tough, but I'm not a fan. Zach LaVine, B tier, but if you can find a way to hide him, he's A tier. No, I'll put LaVine in A tier. A lot of people like LaVine. And yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That is the video. This has been a long one, lads. An hour and 3 minutes of talking, or 4 minutes of talking consecutively. This is my tier list. There are too many cards in this list that there are not, like, I have not put a card somewhere that I believe is, or that I put a card somewhere and there's a better card in a lower tier. I can guarantee you that's happening. That's happened at some stage, but hopefully. So my best 10 anyway. Steve Francis, Gary Payton as my point guards. That's a very, very close one there. We got Kobe and we got him as the two guards. Power forward or small forwards, we have got Paul George and Kevin Durant. Power forward, you know what? Screw it. Paul George down, Batum up. I'm done. That's my best 10. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.